How's it going, everybody? Welcome again to another episode of Just Keeping It Real podcast with your girls Trixie, Daisy, and producer Ricky.
Adopt shelter dogs.
There you go. Cobra Kai Never Dies shirt. Ricky got a hoodie, y'all. That's how we do it up in here with our podcast at Just Keeping It Real. Because why? Because Cobra Kai never dies. Okay, there we go.
I don't know about you, but I'm all part of the Fang crew.
Oh, her and the Fang crew. You know what? I was mad at him for that. I could not stop laughing.
Eagle Fang crew.
Eagle Fang. And
yeah.
what's his name?
For
like,
sure.
Eagles don't have fangs. He's like, yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
And he punched him. Gotta love John. Gotta love him.
Yeah.
So we got some good tea for y'all today, guys. Are you ready? First of all, y'all know I'm your sports girl, so I am going to say this. There is this movie on Netflix that I absolutely loved because I love sports. Of course, it was cheesy and stuff. It's an Adam Sandler Productions type movie, but I love Adam Sandler.
I
Shout
do
out
too.
to him. So Adam,
Happy Gilmore Productions.
Yes, Happy Gilmore Productions. We will be your next people if you need us on your next movie. I'm just saying. Ricky, Trixie, and Daisy. But no, it's called Home Team, and it's about the whole Spygate thing. They call it that happened with the Saints and Drew Brees and all of them. Sean Payton, the coach. You know, with all they were talking. Well, it wasn't Spygate. It was Bountygate. You know, when they said he was playing certain players on the defense to hurt players and stuff like that. All that drama that went on. It talks about, and it's inspired, Ricky, by true events with Sean Payton about him going back home to help with his son's football team.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Really?
I absolutely loved it.
Wow.
I loved how it showed Kevin James play Sean Payton. And of course, you know, Adam Sandler has his people in it. And I love that.
Yeah.
Takes his
And
crew
I
with him.
I watched a little bit of that movie as well.
Wasn't it cute? Taylor
I
Lautner, he's aged, but you look good still, boo. You still look good.
He really does. I mean, he's keeping himself up. Let's be real. He's keeping himself looking real good.
Yes, I like the dad bod on him. It looks good. I like that he don't have like a
I like
whole
Kevin James.
8-pack.
I like Adam Sandler. I like all the people that come in all his movies. So I was for it. I liked it.
You liked it? Ricky, have you checked it out or you haven't had time?
I didn't have time to check it out yet.
Check it out. I think you would like it. I thought it was really good about how it showed about what happened with Sean Payton. And, you know, you learn more about him as a person and stuff. And then I like how it's inspired by true events because it shows about his life and what he went through as far as in with his family during that time, with friends, with losing friends and people not wanting to talk to him. And I'm sure that happens a lot to a lot of people. So, and it actually goes into some of the topics later on today, our main topic. But I will say this for your sports, Deshaun Watson is no longer a Texan. He has been traded to the Browns.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm okay with it.
I'm a Patriots fan, so it don't matter to me. Not this season. No, I think with everything that's happened with him, I think it's good for him and for the Texans.
I think so too. I think that, you know, our name is already, so for him not to be associated with the Texans name anymore, I think that's okay. Go about your business, get your shit situated, and start somewhere else. Hopefully you won't get a Super Bowl, though.
And then different things going on. I mean, Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, quarterback for the Falcons, has now been traded to the Colts. That I didn't expect.
Alrighty.
I didn't expect that. I mean, how y'all gonna trade Matty Ice? I thought Matty Ice still had some good life in him.
Ice, baby.
And he sure, and I mean, he's still
when
got
I
a
hear
good
that,
arm.
that's all I hear. Ice, baby.
Whenever she hears him calling Matty Ice, because that's his nickname. You know, Ricky, what do you think? I mean,
Oh, I already knew that was going to happen with Matt Ryan because he was doing good when he first got signed on and stuff, but then he just started declining and stuff.
but you gotta understand.
I do believe that I think his offense coach should have been someone probably totally different.
Yeah.
To make him better. He is a good quarterback, but the thing is they're not working with him much as possible, so he could be better. But
Well, guess who they signed?
Getting traded, so.
Guess who they signed? Marcus Mariota, the quarterback that was with the Titans. Remember? They signed him to an $18.75 million contract.
18.
$18.75 million contract.
0.75
And I think it's going to be good because he has Arthur Smith as his
I need some of that
offensive
money.
coordinator.
Give
and
me some of that.
I think that's going to be
Give me
good. And let
some
me
of
tell you
that.
why. Because they worked together for 5 years when they were with the Titans. So, I mean, I think that's a really good kind of like dynamic duo. I like Marcus because I always say it's Mariotto, but the way I say it, I try to do it with his his family accent, but it don't work. But that's all right because I'm Latina.
That's okay.
But I think there's going to be a lot going on with mock drafts. There's a lot going on with the draft that's going to be coming up. And so this is just, to me, I think of the more shocking and not so much shocking trades that have happened so far. The Patriots, we got back linebackers. We got back someone I didn't think we would get back. And I'm glad we did. We got Butler back, and we sat him down a few years ago during Super Bowl, and we're in talks of getting him back. I love Butler.
Right.
He's the reason why we won against Seattle.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I like Butler, and I'm glad we're getting him back, and in talks of hopefully finalizing everything. It was supposed to be done today, but who knows? But on another note, before we skip on to other spilling of the tea, Tom Brady has made a Bitcoin donation to the guy who bought his last touchdown.
We were talking about that, guys.
We were talking about that, weren't we?
How he bought it and he's out of retirement, and like, what was the point? And then he put it up on auction and try to basically put it on auction for what he got it for, and it's like, it's not the fucking it's not the last touchdown football anymore. So, dude, how's that gonna work for you?
So, Tom, I just gotta say that's why I love you so much. Shout out to you to even want to do a Bitcoin donation. That's cool, man.
So what did he do? Like, what does that mean?
The Bitcoin is like he's making, with Bitcoin how big it is right now.
Yeah.
He's saying he's gonna make a donation to that guy to help him out.
Oh.
And with Bitcoin, he'll probably get his money back and more.
Oh shit.
So,
Wow.
Tom, you're awesome. That's why you're one of my favorites.
That's
That's why my son's middle name is Brady. Okay, I'm just saying. But spilling of the tea, Cinda, what happened? COVID is not gone, apparently.
What, COVID?
Yeah, COVID is not gone, apparently.
Oh, yeah, Hillary Clinton got COVID. Now, I don't know about you, but I guess it's still lurking around, guys. They said that, it subsided a little bit, but finally, Hillary Clinton. Now, we do know our mayor and everybody in our legal atmosphere or politician-wise has gotten COVID, and they've gotten over it, and pretty much everybody in Houston and damn near the world. But Hillary Clinton, she's finally got it, guys.
And I have to say prayers to her because, from what I've heard, people who've had it, thank God I've been blessed, and it's going to stay that way, that none of us get it. But I've heard people who've had it that are around her age, and they don't do so well sometimes. So
Yeah.
I hope all is well.
Well, we'll be praying for her, but
They said Bill stay cleared of it, though. So.
Probably because he ain't touching her, he's touching other people. But
Exactly.
but I won't judge him. People can change. Tigers can change their stripes, can't they? Anyway,
What does
but
that song go? Once a cheetah, always a cheetah.
They can change their stripes, I believe, into spots. I don't know. But so Hillary Clinton, yes, it's kind of messed up, the whole COVID thing. So I hope everything goes good with her. I did recently go out for St. Patty's Day with my friend, and I met a woman. She kind of had like a Pat Benatar feel, and her hair was really short, but just kind of like bangs. And she's like, this isn't on purpose, because I told her, I was like, your hair looks really great. Like, you look cute. You're doing the whole rocker, and you know me. I love me some Pat Benatar. So she told me that her hair fell out when she got COVID, and it hasn't grown back.
Oh, wow.
And so that was literally
That's
her
happened
hair.
to a few people I know.
And it happened to my brother. It happened to a bunch of people. Now, my fucking hair is way too thick. I would hate to say that I wished that, but I mean, if COVID could have got me a little hair thinning, I wouldn't have been mad at that. My hair is way too fucking thick. A little hair thinning could do a girl good, but instead, I still have chest issues, and that has been causing breathing issues, and I do believe that is from COVID, as well as intestinal problems sometimes. Like, oh gosh.
Well, I know you had some more tea about the guys we love to
Yes,
talk about. We don't
so
need to, but they're always
guys,
in the media.
Yes, so of course we have our Kanye and our Skeet Pete. And now let me quit calling him Skeet, because I like Pete way more than I like Kanye anyway. But
Me too,
Kanye and Pete Davidson. So I know everybody knows that fighter, right?
Yes.
John Paul?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody knows John
So apparently he's like, oh, I'm the top fighter of last year. I'm the most paid fighter. That he's got 60, I believe he said 60 mil to put on the line.
Yeah.
to get Kanye and Pete to actually have a
Altercation.
physical fight, like to get in the ring, fight it out. He's, he just threw it out there, and he's really trying to talk to the right people to actually get this done. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if Pete can actually beat Kanye. But I don't want to ever say anything about anybody like that, because let me just tell you, people always underestimate the the underdog, and then Kanye might be the one coming out with the bloody nose and a bloody mouth. But I don't know. Do you think that they should do that? Do you think that that's going to benefit anybody, or do you think that I feel like it's just going to cause more beef? I feel like people aren't going to be able to get over it, especially Kanye. Okay, so I don't know.
I don't think it's a good idea at all. But if they want to make more money, they'll do it. Yeah. But I wouldn't. Y'all make enough. So just let it be what it is. Kanye, let it go, Papi. Let it go. It ain't worth it. Move on. Continue to be the best dad you can for your kids. And co-parent, it can work. I know you have your issues. We all have. I co-parent very well with my ex-husband, and I'm thankful for that.
Right.
But we have our moments, because everybody does. But,
and some people don't.
Yeah, and some people don't. But keeping it about the kids, you can, and I'm very thankful and blessed that we co-parent for our kids, and we have a good relationship, and keep it that way. Because sometimes that's what you have to do for the betterment of your children. This whole Kanye, Kim, Pete thing, I just feel like, a part of me feels like it's for the media.
I mean, at this point, I think the media and everybody else, we're fucking tired of it. So I don't know how much more you think you're going to get out of it. I barely even put this story up right now. Yeah. So I'm over it. They need to really deal with their situation.
We're just all over it.
It's time to move on. Do you want to talk about Justin Bieber?
Oh, well, no. First, we're going to talk about Amanda Bynes and her conservatorship for her mother for 9 years, y'all. Her mother was in charge of her money.
Same as Britney, huh?
Same as Britney, in charge of her funds, in charge of her choices. She today was, yesterday, but they confirmed it more so today, was finally free, pretty much. It ended. She's able to be in charge of her own money.
And you wonder why she went crazy like Britney, shaved her head and did all that too.
And I was a big Amanda Bynes fan. Like,
me too.
I love
on her
Sydney White. She's the Man. I mean, the list can go on of the movies that I like of Amanda Bynes. I don't care what anybody says. I always thought she was cute.
Classic.
What was the show she used to come on? What I Like About You.
What I Like
About You. And she was on there with, I said Kelly Taylor from 90210, but y'all know. Because that's how I know her. But Jenny Garth. She came on there with Jenny Garth as her sister. And, I mean, I like her. I wish her well. And I hope she does good. And I really want to see her in more movies. And maybe like more TV shows or something. I want her to do good.
Well, she might need to be on TV shows. Who knows? Her parents probably, her mom probably spent all her money that she made as a teen.
I just feel bad for some of them. I mean, I get it. You want to be there for your kid because they're mentally, they weren't all there. However, let them make some of their own decisions and choices. So kudos to her for that.
9 years.
I'm glad she got freed of it. I hope she makes the best decisions, and I wish her well.
Right, 9 years.
We are going to talk about Justin Bieber. Oh. Okay, so
what happened?
There was some sexual harassment allegations on him from 2020, and he was so annoyed, and he finally made his own file to dismiss the suit, and the Jane Does that are, because there was not just one, several women saying that he did sexual harassment and sexual assault against him. So he finally files to dismiss it. He just wants to be over it and move forward and move on. I don't know about you. We don't know if it's true. I wasn't there. But however, I mean, there's a lot of these men and women who get away with it.
Right.
And it's not okay, But then there's also a lot of women who falsely accuse, like we talked about in other podcasts, throw a man in jail for several years, come to find out it's not true, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
You ruin somebody's life. So it's in this stage, it's like a he said, she said, but it's more than just one woman. Like the same thing with Deshaun Watson. So it's like,
Well, yeah, if it's more than one woman, I mean, the same thing happened with Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
When it's that many women that are saying, hey, this happened, I feel bad for the women that came out so late. You know what I mean?
Yes.
After all that. You
Yes.
guys, we should be empowered by women to know that if there is something that makes us feel uncomfortable in that situation, it is okay for you to say no and to stick up for yourself and to tell somebody, regardless of the repercussions,
Yep.
that like fuck off. Don't
Yeah.
touch me. No, I'm not into it, and you're making me uncomfortable.
And it doesn't matter if it's a pastor of your church. It doesn't matter if it's a
No,
boyfriend.
that girl said the pastor of
Yeah,
your
the pastor of your
church.
church, because that happens a lot. And like I said, we're gonna share about things tonight,
Right.
On that matter, not just of sexual harassment, but just people making excuses for their narcissistic behavior to
So do
why the
you
choices
excuse
they're
it?
why they make the choices for their bad decisions,
Right.
but they want to blame or use things as a cop out, and for me, I'm a spiritual person and stuff, but that don't mean I'm gonna let you get away with shit.
Right.
No. So for me, with that whole situation with Justin, he wants to dismiss it. Okay, I just hope that if it is true, you get your shit fixed, and that your wife talks to you and says, "Honey, I know this was years ago, but don't let it happen. Don't let it happen
Well,
while
was
you're
it
with me."
before the marriage? Or?
Yeah, it was before the marriage.
Okay.
Apparently, it was before the marriage. So
it
who
can't
knows?
be. Yeah. And
So
it's coming out now, but hopefully everything gets taken care of. So that brings us to our topic.
yeah, that's the topic today. Like I said, people
Do you
using a
excuse
cop out.
somebody's behavior?
Yeah, for making bad choices.
Okay.
Their narcissistic behavior or using things as a cop out. For one, I'm gonna talk about Pastor John Gray. He had, as he called, emotional affairs, against his wife. And I don't judge. I'm not judging nobody, throwing nobody under the bus. Not like that. This is stuff everybody knows already. It wasn't
Yeah.
just once. It was twice or a few times. And for me,
Right.
he's like, God forgives me. My wife forgives me. Okay, I get that. However, you're like, it's nobody's business. But you're a preacher. You're a man that
When you're out in the public.
you're out in the public, dude. Like, you don't think people are gonna look at you? Like, you don't think people are gonna be disappointed
or judge.
or judge? I mean, it's gonna happen. Like us, we started doing a podcast. People are gonna judge us, say stuff, trolls. We don't care. But my thing is this: don't excuse or make excuses or use stuff as a cop out
You're
for
right.
your behavior and your choices you made. Same thing with Carl Lentz. That's another one. I actually went to college with Carl Lentz.
Oh, did you?
In Australia. Yeah,
Yeah.
we went to Hillsong. I was in the city
And
campus.
who is he? What is he?
He was the pastor of Hillsong Church in New York.
Okay, so he's a pastor.
Yeah, and I met him, and no offense to him, when we met in college, I have
Right.
nothing against him or nothing. I just felt that he was very arrogant, a bit came off cocky, like he was the stuff.
Right.
And I didn't look at him like that. So a bunch of my girlfriends like, oh, he's so fine and da da da. and this
Like
and that.
like an arrogant.
Yeah, and he came up to
cockiness.
me and he's like, hey, I saw y'all and y'all seem like the cool crowd from the city. And I'm like,
Huh?
the cool crowd? We're just friends. We're just all having fun. So, I mean, I didn't know him really.
Right.
I just know that encounter with him. I was like, okay, I guess, kick rocks. I was in the city campus, so I had fun with all the people in the city. I didn't know him too well.
Yeah.
But shout out to Andy Andrews. She was the youth pastor at one of the churches I worked with. She was
Right.
really cool, really dope, still is. And her and her husband are awesome. And so I knew a lot of people that I met that knew him and were friends with him and probably still are friends with him. And I'm not judging him,
Right.
because like I said, I didn't know him like that. Just, like we've talked about it before, statistically speaking, when you meet somebody in the first 30 seconds, they say you can determine if you like him or not. I
Right.
didn't like his ways. In Spanish, his modos. I just felt he came off
His
arrogant.
aura was just not
his
there.
vibe for me, I wasn't
Right.
feeling it. So when he started coming to Lakewood and doing, guest speaking and stuff, my sister invited me and I said, she goes, oh, he went to Hillsong too. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember him. And she was like, what's the matter, sis? I said,
You're like,
I
yeah.
didn't really care for him. I said, I have nothing against him. It's just, he, like, that whole cocky, arrogant kind of, like, spirit that came off of him, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, you're like,
So
no, sir.
when he had an affair and it came out during the beginning of the pandemic towards,
Oh my goodness.
that.
So it was
yeah.
recently.
Yeah, that he had an affair and he was with his wife for 17 years and his wife is absolutely stunning. And then I saw the girl he had an affair with, Ricky. Let me tell you, that makes me upset. I mean, looks don't matter, stuff like that, but you got you a whole wife and you went and he was saying he was going through depression and having a hard time. This is where I get angry, Ricky. Again, a cop out for your narcissistic behavior and ways.
Right.
You're saying, oh, I wasn't going through anything in my marriage, but you still went to another woman instead of your wife. quit using that you're a man of God and God forgives you and this is between your family and you. Yeah, but you're this pastor that was highly respected, was the pastor to many celebrities, and you didn't think people were going to be watching you?
So you're saying like he used it as a cop out.
Yeah,
He used that as a cop out.
and I don't like it when
So that the atmosphere, the church setting, the whole shebang bang, he kind of used it to his advantage. Is
yeah,
what
that's
you're
how I
saying.
feel.
Yeah.
I feel
or how you see it.
or like some people change. I know they have good hearts because don't get me wrong.
Right.
He spoke the word. He was a man of God, yes. But somewhere in there it got twisted and he made choices to do things on his own, but try to cover it up by using God. Well, God forgives me, and you know, people make mistakes, don't judge. We're not judging you, John and Carl, but let me tell you what. Y'all had leaders to go to. You had Joel Osteen. You had T.D. Jakes. You had Devon Franklin. You had many people you could have gone to.
Right.
So don't say you felt lonely or you felt like people were going to judge you. You had all these people. You had all these people you could have gone to and said, hey, man, I'm having temptation. I want to be with another woman.
Well, and it doesn't just, I feel like it doesn't even just have to do with the church setting and the
Yeah.
church atmosphere. It's literally in any type of atmosphere. Like we were talking about earlier, like how teachers, it's the same thing with teachers.
Yes.
You sit here, you have these 22-year-olds coming out of college, going to working in these high schools with these 17-year-olds that look like grown-ass men.
Yes.
And I know my brother used to bring these kids around. Thank God obviously I wasn't my age now, but I was, 5 years older.
Younger guys always like me, so
And so,
like I rebuke it.
and so, like, it was easy to just be like, oh, look at these, whatever. So, and I know somebody that was working in the field that actually slept around with a student.
Yeah,
And
that's not-
it came out and it was bad. So, I mean, do you excuse that behavior?
hell no. I don't care how. That's
Even if it's like an 18-year-old that is getting ready to graduate, you're just 22, you got out of college, that's your, that's your student.
to me, if you gotta hide it, then clearly something's wrong.
Yeah.
Clearly something's wrong.
But the thing is, even though the guy could be 18 and she be in her 20s, just let alone for him being a student,
Mm-hmm.
is basically looking at, oh, he's still a minor type thing.
Yeah.
It's weird because the same thing. It goes the same thing for college too. Like if a college professor does it, it's the same concept. Well, not the same concept, but the same consequences about that.
You know what?
It
what's
goes
funny,
to your ethics.
Yes, your
in your
ethics.
in your job. You take an oath. You
and your freaking morals.
you say ethics. I mean, not everybody has morals though.
That's
Not
true.
everybody was raised
That
with
is
manners.
true.
But it does go to your job description. Explains the ethics of your job and what would be considered.
And years ago, that woman who said she was too pretty to go to jail, who had an affair with a student.
She was pretty.
But girl, I'm too pretty to go to jail. Girl, you did the crime, you need to do the time. Oh,
Shout out to Adam Sandler who made light of that.
Yeah.
In the fucking Are
Daddy's
You My
Boy, right?
Are You My Boy or
Are
something?
you my boy?
Oh,
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
That
was
movie hilarious.
But I will say this. There was a movie called Notes on a Scandal with Kate Blanchett and Judi Dench that had to do with this. That movie was awesome. Judi Dench was a teacher. She was a teacher who was having an affair with her 15-year-old student, Kate Blanchett. And Judi Dench saw, tried to betray her, whatever. Well, the husband, when he finds out, because the mom did what I would have done, went over there trying to beat her ass, right?
Me too.
And the son's like, she's like, how dare you, trying to beat her ass and stuff. And the husband, shuts the door and then the camera starts to come and stuff. And her and the husband are arguing. And I like what the husband said. She goes, well, you were my professor. And he goes, but you were fucking 19, 20 years old. We were already not in the same college. You were already, like he went off.
Yeah.
You were a fucking 15-year-old. Our daughter is, like he went off. I'm glad he did because it's the truth. That lady who said she was too pretty to go to jail, her husband was fine. Let me tell you. I saw him on one of the shows.
You don't know what was going
Oh
on.
no,
behind
this is what
closed
he
doors.
said. He said, I just want to let y'all know. And his girlfriend was like, ain't nothing wrong with him. She goes, so that girl just got something sick in the head. If you're 28 years old trying to mess with an 11-year-old student.
Okay,
15-year-old
no,
student.
that's different. I said 22 and 17, 18.
Mary Kayla Turner.
I did
He
not
was
say
11
no
years old.
11 years old.
10
no.
and 11 years old. I mean, they're married now, right? Got divorced or something. I don't know. The point is, Come on now.
So basically,
something's not right in the head.
Yeah.
If you're messing with you 31 years old, and you messing with an 11-year-old. Like,
Definitely don't make an excuse for that one, for
So,
sure.
And to me, if you're gonna treat the man harsh, treat the women harsh.
All right.
'Cause
No double standards.
No double standards when it comes to that. I hate that.
Look at Ricky. You want to say something? Look at you.
But that's the thing about that. We got this. The world's pretty much not built. Everything we have done, we have built to make a city and all this kind of stuff. But then it's like on the flip side, I just don't like getting into this though. Like when it comes to females, it's like, oh no, like we'll give you less stuff or less sentence.
I hate that.
We're gonna give you less this and that. Like, oh, that's not so bad. It's okay, but you can't. You sit there and say you want the same equal rights and all this.
I
stuff.
agree.
You can't take the
I
same
agree.
punishment for the shit you do.
That's what I said. Narcissistic behavior,
Right.
using cop-outs as an excuse. Like I said, have nothing against John Gray, Carl Lentz, Jim Baker, and all of them. I don't. What I didn't like is y'all try to use the whole God thing as a cop-out to get away with what your behavior and the choices you make. God didn't tell you to get a prostitute. God didn't tell you to put that dope in your nose. Like, how you gonna be like, the Lord forgives me and you should forgive me too? Okay, I need time. I ain't Jesus. Yes, I said I'm spiritual, but you slap my cheek, I ain't turning the other cheek. We fighting. So I'm still a work in progress. You see, I'm still a work in progress, sir. So to me, you can't just use the God thing to get away with stuff.
Yeah.
Like John Gray, be better, bruh.
Trisha, you said if you, Trixie, you said if you slapping somebody,
If you turn the other cheek, no.
he's slapping back.
I'm slapping back. I ain't Jesus. I'm serving him, but I ain't Jesus. I'm a work in progress, okay? No. We're all a work in progress. Let me tell
Exactly.
you. I'm not no angel. Lord knows.
Me
No.
either.
So if you're going to hit my... I'm not going to turn the other cheek. I'm still looking through the Bible and seeing that's what it says all down. You know? Oh, Lord. Now,
it says thou shalt slap back.
Okay, I said, look, I'm a spiritual person, but I'm like Lenny Kravitz, a Christian in my own way. You gonna hit me on my head? No, I'm just playing. Lenny Kravitz, I love you, but no, it's a joke. It's a joke. Bought her like a Greek god. At
Bought her
50
like
years
a
old.
Greek god.
Jesus. Now I will say I look at him and I thank the Lord every day. Let me tell you, Lenny Kravitz. Are you gonna go my way? Sure am. Sure gonna follow that way. But see, again,
Damn, my goodness, you
not
not
gonna-
me choked over Lenny Kravitz.
Again,
Where'd that
my
come from?
choices. I'm not gonna use something to cover up. If I went with Lenny, you know what I'm gonna say? It was me. He was fine. Did you see him? Can you blame me?
Can
I'm
you
not
blame
gonna be
me?
like these people trying to make excuses. You know, no, come on. Look
Yeah.
at Ricky. Ricky's laughing.
Don't make no excuses
I'm making
for your
light to joke,
behavior.
but I'm serious. Do you think, Ricky? What do you think about people that make certain choices, even in NFL and stuff? I ain't trying to be nobody's role model. The job you have, being an NFL player, being a celebrity, a singer, an actor, you asked for that.
Yeah, you can't get mad because you're out there in the spotlight.
It's an automatic.
Yeah, it's automatic.
Fine print.
Yeah.
Basically. Once you do that, is like I said, it doesn't matter if it's in the sports, say the music industry, say the movie. Once you start getting to that limelight and stuff, and people start to notice you, people are gonna start noticing what you're doing and how you're doing it, and they're gonna try to copy you because that's what they do. It's like right now, like you got people that old school rappers and stuff like that. You got the one that like the new ones and stuff, and that's just what they do. I mean, like them or hate them or love them or type stuff, but people are gonna follow what they doing because they in the limelight of that.
Exactly. You know what was so funny is I saw a little snippet of 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg, right? And they were talking about new rappers and stuff today. And I love what Snoop
I
is.
seen that.
He is who he is. He said he ain't gonna change to nothing with his behavior. And this is what he said. He goes, hey man, these new rappers today. He goes, man, they all sound the same. And he said, and 50 Cent was laughing because it's true. He's like, they all sound the same, man. He goes, man, they put me in the studio one time, and I was like, man, get out of here. I ain't about to do that shit.
He really did though.
Oh my God. He said, they try to tell me to do that shit. I said, I ain't doing that shit, man. Get up out of here with that. And you know what?
Get your ass up out of here.
And you know what I gotta say? I like that he stuck to who he is.
Yeah.
And never made excuses or tried to make excuses for why he smoked weed. He said, I smoke weed because that's who I am and I love weed. You know what I'm saying? he's not telling people follow me and smoke weed, or he says I'm smoking weed. That's who I am.
Exactly.
So for me, narcissistic behavior and using things as a cop out and as a crutch to get away with stuff, do better, people. Like, do better.
And especially if you're in the limelight, if people are watching you, be more aware of your actions, because you don't know who is looking up to you. You don't know who, we have these young kids out here nowadays, and they're looking up to everybody and anybody. So, be aware of that.
I will say this, though, before we gonna end the podcast.
Yes.
I'm sick of seeing, 16 and pregnant and this and that on MTV. How about 18 and going to college?
Yeah.
How about
'cause
22 and
pretty
graduating?
much what they're showing is the fact that you can make money, and 10 years from
being
then
16 and pregnant.
being 16 and pregnant, and then 10 years from that have a badass house because you have ratings on TV and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, do better. Make shows that are gonna encourage these younger
let's bring the
generation.
true life back. At least they were talking about people's true life, how they overcome or the struggles that they're going through, and how they overcome it. How about let's bring back that? How about let's bring back Road Rules? Because I liked motherfuckers being in the trailers.
I'm so glad
on
y'all
the
got
road
the
and
challenge.
doing crazy stuff.
I gotta say,
I
I'm
love
so glad
the
y'all
challenge.
got the challenge.
I still
But
love that.
I will say, bring back Cara Maria, okay? Because I love me some Cara.
Leave
some
Cara alone. Don't
some
nobody
Johnny
else like
Bananas.
Cara.
I do.
Nobody
some
else
Johnny
does.
Bananas, but my favorite.
I used to like her.
My favorite is and will always be CT. Baby.
CT is still in the game, girl.
Yes, he
you ain't
is.
even gotta say to bring him back.
Exactly.
He's gonna be the back.
He's
gonna
the
be back.
GOAT, and baby,
He's the GOAT.
His wife is beautiful. No disrespect to her, but honey, you was one lucky woman, because CT is fine.
But anyway,
Oh,
guys, we
I'm just saying, in a
wanna
good way.
leave this episode with next week we are having a special guest, and
Woo-hoo.
we will be doing impressions.
Should I give a little sneak peek?
You
Daisy?
can. Do you have an impression for
I
us?
do next week on Just Keeping It Real. We're going to do some impressions for everybody. Thank you so much for joining Trixie and Daisy and producer Ricky. That is what we're going to do, my love.
All right, mate, you heard it right here. We're going to be doing impressions for everybody. So keep tuned and just put another shrimp on the barbie, eh?
There you go. Y'all have a good night.
I don't know.
Just keeping it real, people, because we just keep it real. So see y'all next time.
Trixie, Daisy, and producer Ricky.